Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to an episode of When We Were Kids, a Time Capsule Toys podcast. Brought to you by, obviously, Time Capsule Toys. Toyhio returns October 12th. Lots of guests. Let's see if I can remember them all off the top of my head. Wardlow, Harley Cameron, Danhausen, Brian Myers, Captain Joe's Shoes, Jason Baker, and Kinnick with Big Rubber Guys, and Major Bendy's. I can't believe I actually didn't screw up any of that this time. Today we are here with a longtime friend, Justin Haines. I actually was thinking about this the other day. I don't even remember how we met.
Probably through...
I think it was like horror conventions and a mutual friend that I'm sure neither one of us talk to anymore.
Yeah, that's probably it. That's definitely it.
But Justin runs Dead Ink. He also runs an event that we will actually be discussing later on in the show. But first, we're here to talk about things, obviously, about when we were kids. Today, we record on Tuesdays. This episode will come out on Thursday at 7 o'clock, which I'm sure you're watching it now. So this is like time travel for you. It is gray and rainy outside. And what a perfect day to talk about October and all things horror related involving our childhood traumas and all that fun stuff. When you were a kid, how did you spend a rainy day like today besides naps?
Yeah, definitely naps. I would like to when I was real little, I'd hide in anything I could. I was one of those cave dwelling children. I would go and I'd hide behind the couch and I'd bring things with me. That's my art supplies and stuff would be back there. I'd have a little club in wherever I was, in closets, in cupboards, whatever I could sneak my way into. I'd bring a flashlight into the cupboards and just be in there. And then eventually, my uncle built me a clubhouse, so that would be the actual spot, an actual clubhouse.
Okay. Do you still have the clubhouse?
It actually, I don't think they have it anymore, but they moved it. It was at my grandma's house, and they moved it from my grandma's to their house for their kids. Okay. But I don't think it exists anymore.
At least they got you a clubhouse.
Oh,
back in the day, I used to build forts with my neighbors. Every week we would tear it apart and just reuse the wood and build another one. I don't know. But I don't know. I was a lazy kid, so I was always taking naps on my yellow beanbag chair, watching TV.
Right.
Or every now and again playing Nintendo or action figures, all that sort of stuff. Or falling asleep watching one of the many movies I'd watch every single day that were on HBO, like Congo. It was always on. I always watched it. And it had a toy line.
Bad gorilla.
And it had a toy line, which I don't understand at all.
Yeah. What about the Taco Bell Congo meals?
I don't even remember
You don't remember those?
No.
Oh, man.
Because growing up for Taco Bell, literally all I ate was crunchy tacos with no lettuce. And now, as I'm older, I have evolved into crunchy tacos with no lettuce and a quesadilla with no queso sauce.
Oh. Yeah, well, they had molten lava Congo meals and stuff. It was crazy.
I do not remember those at all. Now I'm going to have to track down some old Congo Taco Bell advertisements. With Amy and Blastface.
Yes.
Blastface was the name of the one gorilla in the toy line. Because he, I guess, took a shotgun blast to the face. Yeah. I don't know. Growing up, did you have any rainy day movies that you'd watch?
I watched Monster Squad every day. No matter what, rain or shine, Monster Squad was it, yeah.
Monster Squad, I actually just watched it. I think it was last October with my kids. And mind you, I loved it so much growing up. I loved it in my early 20s and all that stuff. I try to rewatch it now and I'm just
man.
I don't know. There are certain parts of it I'm just this wouldn't fly today. Literally fly at all.
Yeah.
Now I'm just how did I never notice any of this beforehand?
It's not PC, but
no, it's not. But I do the creature in that movie. Sweet.
Oh yeah.
And then Tom Noonan, who a lot of people don't know who Tom Noonan is. He's my favorite actor ever.
Yeah.
He plays Frankenstein's monster. He is the Ripper.
The Ripper.
in Last Action Hero. He is the crazy old man in House of the Devil. He's in Manhunter.
Tooth Fairy, right? Well, he was the Tooth Fairy in Manhunter.
Yeah. Then, oh my God. I know him from something else too, but I can't remember. But everything he does is creepy.
Yeah.
Except for Frankenstein's monster, which is
They said that he was in his makeup like at all times and never like met the children on the set.
Yeah.
To where like he wouldn't not be Frankenstein around them, so they didn't know who they didn't know Tom Noonan at all.
Yeah, I read an interview about him like that. He's like, I just wanted to keep it that way because I didn't want them to really know who I was as a person.
I hate kids.
That, or he probably also hated kids, which he honestly probably did. Growing up, everyone had their favorite toy lines. What were some of yours?
Absolutely Masters.
Masters of the Universe?
Masters, Real Ghostbusters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had like all of them.
What was your favorite Masters of the Universe figure of all time?
I don't remember a lot of the names of them.
You can describe him, and I'll guess.
I know you'll know him. One of my favorites was like the purple lizard guy that had like the tongue that flicked out.
Tongue Lashor.
Yeah, that makes sense. I should know the names because they all just describe what they are.
That's how they do it.
But yeah,
It makes it easy like that.
Yeah, all the monsters for sure. Scareglow, of course. I still have his head. Like all my toys are broke or like sold, so like I have nothing left really.
But a Scareglow head.
Yeah, I have a Scareglow head just hanging out.
What was your favorite Ghostbuster toy?
The toilet.
Oh, Fearsome Flush. They re-released that
Did they?
a couple of years ago. Yeah. And what'd you say? Masters of the Universe, Real Ghostbusters, and
Ninja Turtles.
who's your favorite turtle?
Favorite turtle?
Well, what was your favorite
My
action
favorite
figure?
turtle was Raphael. That was my favorite, the sarcastic turtle.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was him, you know. I thought I was Raphael.
I always thought I was Michelangelo, but I was never cool.
'Cause you're a party dude.
I'm a party dude, and I'm not cool. What was your favorite action figure from Ninja Turtles?
Man, I liked a lot of them. I liked Pizza Face. Was it Pizza Face?
Yep.
That was a cool one.
Yeah, I just found out probably like maybe a year ago that there was a variant of that I was unaware
Really?
of. I just found out about a variant of another Ninja Turtle yesterday
Yeah.
while helping Ron, who's on last week for the show. I helped him do a whatnot for the first time yesterday. Both of us live found out about another variant because I'm like, why is this figure going for so much money? And someone's like, that's the boot variant. His boots are bright green instead of like, I don't know, blue or something.
Yeah, like as a kid, I didn't know about variants at all. you
Yeah.
know? I think I started collecting spawns when I was like 12 or 13. So then you learn about variants then. But
Yeah, because McFarlane likes to kill his own product
yeah,
with 9,000 variants of Angela.
yeah.
Oh, good old Todd McFarlane. Growing up, our Ninja Turtles, I loved Mondo Gecko.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why I loved him so much. I mean, I still like him a lot. Probably because he only had one accessory, so it wasn't really hard to lose him.
yeah. And it was the skateboard that was stuck to his foot.
Yeah. And then, like, Triceraton was another one of my favorites. Needle Nose,
Oh, yeah.
which was one of the super mutants. There's some turtles I really wanted, but I just never got. But then there's the turtles that everyone else had. Like, everyone had that hard coat Donatello, the undercover Donatello with the mask.
I don't remember having like
Everyone
all the-
has that turtle.
Yeah, I had the basic turtles, but I don't remember having like all the offshoots. Because I'd be like, I already have Leonardo. You know, like,
Yeah,
I don't.
you don't want like birthday Raphael.
Yeah, I don't think
or
I had
clown Michelangelo or
no.
hose 'em down Dawn.
One of my favorite ones too was the Foot Clan from the movie Turtle.
What the heck? I'm trying to imagine what it even looked like.
Oh, they were awesome because they're like real ninjas. You know, like it was.
Oh yeah. Because they look like their eyes look like flies.
yeah.
That was another one of my favorite figures was Baxter Stockman.
Oh yeah.
To this day, I still love that figure. That figure's probably one of the coolest Ninja Turtle figures. That and Leatherhead.
Yeah.
Oh, Ninja Turtles. And now there's pumping them out like crazy all over again. And like trying to feed off the nostalgia, but no one's buying them because like you've re-released them like 15 times. Anyways, moving on from our TMNT rant, we talked a little bit about this movie, like what movies you'd watch as a kid, like on a rainy day or whatever. But besides Monster Squad, do you have any movies from your childhood that are still like classic favorites of yours?
I really can't think of anything other than that as far as what I watched back then, because when I used to stay over at my dad's, he had Aliens and Harry and the Hendersons. Like those were like the two movies. Those were my two choices over there. So like I'd go back and forth between those movies. But I haven't seen Harry and the Hendersons in many years, so I can't even remember.
We talked about Harry and the Hendersons on the show before and how I was terrified of it. So I sat down at the end of the hall in the hamper because I refused to watch it because I was terrified of it. Because we like lived in the woods.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of Alien.
No.
I think it's so boring.
None of them.
I watched the Alien vs. Predator movies. But like every time like I try to watch one, I'm like, these are so boring. Why do people like these? I haven't watched like Covenant, and I haven't watched whatever the new one is.
Yeah, I didn't see the new one yet either.
I don't know. Aliens is like blah. So boring. I don't get it.
Maybe you just don't believe.
No, I believe in aliens. I just don't believe in what's his face's aliens. I'm trying to think. Some of my childhood favorite movies growing up, which obviously became one of my kids' childhood favorites, and I had to watch it literally, no joke, for like a month. Every night as they're going to sleep. And I'm like, I could die a happy man never hearing this theme song ever again, which is the animated G.I. Joe movie.
Oh.
And God, they made me watch it every night, like for a month. I'm like, I'm going to lose my mind. Like this song, that Cobra, like constantly. I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. Please get out of G.I. Joe real fast.
See, I was never a G.I. Joe guy because G.I. Joe was on too early in the morning. And I was never awake for it. So I always missed it. I never saw it. And I was like, oh, well, that's it. I just watched Scooby-Doo afterwards instead.
What's a pup named Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Childhood favorite.
Yeah.
I rewatched it with my kids a couple of years ago. It still holds up.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed so hard. I loved it. It was so good. That was something else I grew up watching with Scooby-Doo, and the fact that it's still around is absolutely insane to me. And some of the new ones are really good. Like, have you ever watched... I'm going to throw this out at you, and you probably have never heard of it. Is Mystery Incorporated.
I don't think so.
Well, it was on like Cartoon Network, but it was like adult-themed Scooby-Doo.
Uh-huh.
It is so freaking good. Like, I watched it with my kids, and I was so mad that it only lasted 2 seasons, and they canceled it.
Man.
But you need to watch it. It's really freaking... Like, I'm not even shocked. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
It's really stinking good.
Yeah, Scooby's in it?
Yeah. It's just... It's like kind of like adult theme, but still... Kids can still watch it. But I was like shocked by how good it was. I was like, oh my God, that's really good. Like, we blew through like the 2 seasons in like... I don't know, like 2 weeks. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, man. But yeah, Scooby-Doo was always a favorite of mine. Especially because it goes with kind of like our theme this episode of like horror.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Scooby-Doo is always finding the scariest guys in costumes.
The real evil in the world is man.
Yeah, the real evil. That's what they did. That's what Scooby-Doo teaches you. And now we're living it. More so than ever. As a kid, like I said before about movies and stuff like that, we all have our favorites, and we also have our Jesus Christ, why did they make this movies? Do you have any horror movies you could think of as a kid that you feel need to be remade, like because they're so bad? Or one that you really like that you feel could use an updated version?
It's hard because going back as an adult to watch these movies that you thought were awesome when you were a kid, like if there was any time period in between just watching them and you're like, oh, this movie was so great when I was a kid, and you watch it, you're like, oh, you know, they're kind of all like that.
Yeah.
I always consider myself like a horror fan that doesn't even like horror movies because I get so upset like when I watch them. It's like
you get so mad.
Yeah.
You're like a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
I love wrestling, but all I'm going to do on the internet is complain about how bad it is and how much I hate it. But I'll be there every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh my God, it's on Monday. Wrestling there's a different wrestling show Monday through Saturday.
And we always say like back when it was good. But that's like there was no back when it was good. It's just like you were a different person back then. Like you were either a child and that was different. It's just different for you. It wasn't any different.
Yeah. So is there a movie that you think it would need to be that you would want to be remade, or one that you think was so bad that they really need to remake it to make it good?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Off the top of my head, when I wrote this question, I didn't have any answers for you. But talking about this right now, it was a movie that terrified me as a kid. Watching it now, at my age, it's not that scary because the special effects aren't. It's all stop motion.
Okay.
But The Gate.
Oh, yeah, I love The Gate.
I still love it. It still terrifies me. I remember the first time I watched it was at my aunt's house, and I was horrified when that big demon is in the middle of the room, and there's the balcony around him. That scared the living crap out of me. But I think if they would do an updated version of The Gate, I think it'd do pretty good. Because, all the monsters in that movie are all stop motion.
Yeah.
So, it's not real scary right now.
Actually, no. The creatures are people in suits. And they did that, what do they call that when, they did in Lord of the Rings where, stuff up close is big. And stuff in the back is small.
Yeah, they use your depth
force perspective or whatever.
Yeah, they use your.
Because I thought those little, I call them porky pigs, little porky pig guys. I thought they were stop motion, but they're not.
I always thought they were stop motion.
Yeah,
I never knew that. But yeah, The Gate, I think it's a good movie on its own, but it could use a massive update.
Yeah, it definitely could.
A movie that had an update that sucks so bad.
Everything. You can name everything, really.
My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, yeah.
That one was terrible. It didn't need to be in 3D. The original still holds up.
That's your favorite, right?
It is my hands down one of my probably my favorite slasher movie. I love that movie. It still holds up. Trying to think what other ones I think could be.
Yeah, I had that. Remember, I had that My Bloody Valentine party with Dead Ink, and I rented out it was right after COVID, during COVID, whatever. We rented out the theater and we showed the old My Bloody Valentine
because the new one's just awful.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's so bad. It's probably up there with the RoboCop remake.
Oh,
RoboCop is another one of my favorite movies ever, and Jesus God, that has to be hands down the worst remake I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was pretty bad.
I watched the whole movie staring at my ceiling saying, "Oh God, why?"
Total Recall remake.
I didn't watch it.
You need to watch that because it's like nothing like the original at all.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think of some. They redid that movie. They redid. I really liked the original Stage Fright.
Yeah.
With the owl head killer, so weird. But they remade it. And I refuse to watch it because I'm sure it's super artsy and weird when there's no need for it to be artsy or weird.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other. There's probably some, they could redo the old school Mad Monster Party. That was Boris Karloff and all them.
Okay.
From freaking late 60s. They're redoing Frankenstein.
Yeah, they have. I'm sure you've seen the picture of the Wolf Man from the Blumhouse Wolfman that they were having at that Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes.
And people are freaking out because they're like, "What? It just looked like a crazy old guy."
It looked like a homeless man. Who wants to see? People want to see the Wolf Man, not the homeless man.
I don't know what's up with
If they want to see the homeless man, just go walk around Belmont Avenue. There's plenty of them. But there's like I said, there's some ones that need to be remade to make them good, and then other ones that need to be remade just for special effects factors, I guess.
Yeah. But then they might ruin them too.
Yeah.
When they did that Thing prequel.
I didn't even watch that.
They said they shot the whole thing with practical effects and then decided they wanted to remove them and they CGI'd everything in.
So stupid. The thing is like one of the greatest horror movies ever. The practical effects still hold up to this day.
Yeah, it's insane.
And they're still like absolutely nuts. What movies from your childhood, what horror movies from your childhood do you feel deserved sequels that never got them?
Oh man, you're asking all the hard-hitting questions here.
Hey, I do this all the time.
It's like
I like to throw people off.
Right? It's like you can't think of it. It's like when someone's like, "Hey, play a song on the jukebox," and like every song just flashes in your head, and you can't think of one to play.
Then you end up playing just Indigada de Vida. It's like 9 minutes long,
Yeah.
so you can get your money's worth.
The Friday the 13th theme at VW3s over and over. That's happened, by the way. Man,
I'll go with
Yeah,
one.
hit me with
I'll hit one. I
I'll
thought about
I'll
this.
Disagree with you.
I thought of this one on the ride here, which I guarantee you, almost everyone who listens to this will disagree with me, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Halloween 3.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Halloween 3 should have had a sequel.
I think Halloween 3, if made today without Halloween's name on it, people would love it.
That's here's a big thing. Halloween 3 is better than Halloween. I don't care what anyone says. I like that story so much more than the whole thing with Michael Myers. Do I like the original Halloween? Yes. I do not like Halloween 2. I like all the other Halloweens way more than the first two.
Yeah. Even the one with Busta Rhymes.
Yes. Was that Resurrection? But like those, to me, horror should be like dumb fun or like super scary. So like the dumb fun slasher movies is what I grew up watching and liking. So, but like Halloween 3, I hated it. I hated it before I ever saw it. And when I finally broke down and saw it, I was like, I love this movie.
Yeah.
Like there's so much, it's fun and weird, and Tom Atkins is the man.
Absolutely.
So like Halloween 3 should have had a sequel. My Bloody Valentine should have had a sequel. What's some other good ones? I'll throw out one that shouldn't have never had a sequel. Fright Night 2. Should have never had a sequel. The Gate should have never had a sequel.
Yeah, The Gate.
Because that sequel was awful. Trying to think what other... I'm sure there's some other ones I can think of off the top of my head that need a sequel. You could do a sequel to Friday the 13th Part 5.
Yeah?
With Roy.
Oh, yeah.
See, I'm pulling out all the back knowledge of...
Yeah. See, a lot of people, they know you as Toyhio Rick or Time Capsule Rick. I know you as Rick of the Dead.
Yeah, back when I was watching the most ridiculous, like, every Bigfoot movie they ever made.
Yeah.
Like, I actually just told someone the other day about... They're like, I like Bigfoot movies. I go, did you ever see Night of the Demon? They go, no. I go, it's about some woman who lives in a cabin out in the woods. And she was sexually assaulted by Bigfoot and had to stay out there because they had a baby together.
That happens, I've heard.
And they go, wait, for real? I go, yeah. And there's a scene where Bigfoot rips the guy's intestines out and swings them around his head.
See, I thought I was a horror fan until I joined, like, you guys had a website or something and message boards, and I was like, dude, I don't know what these dudes are talking about.
I just watched the most ridiculous bullcrap ever. Which, speaking of the devil, is this. I have a tattoo of it on my ankle. Which, now I just thought of, should have had a sequel. Blood Diner.
Yeah.
Which, if you've never seen Blood Diner, please go, I don't even know where the world you can watch it. Because I don't think it ever got a DVD release. But it is the most ridiculous, over-the-top horror movie ever. It's so, like... Dolph Ziggler once said it was the worst movie he's ever seen. And I tweeted to him. And because he said, you can ask me one question. And I said, is Blood Diner the worst movie ever? And his response was, Sheetar. Which... I love Blood Diner. It's, like I said, it's so ridiculous. Yeah. There's a scene where the guy gets his hands cut off and he's trying to drive. And his blood's spraying all over his windshield, and he turns his windshield wipers on to try to get it off, but he's too stupid to realize the blood's on the inside and not the outside, and then he wrecks his car and dies.
So do you still have like all your horror stuff?
No, I have some of it. I have Tales from the Crypt John Castor poster that you got signed for me.
Yeah.
Which Justin went to a convention years ago. John Castor was there. I gave him a video poster for Tales from the Crypt. And I said, hey, get this signed for me. And then Justin's calling me. I answer the phone. It was the Crypt Keeper himself. And it was like one of the weirdest experienced phone calls I've ever had in my life. Because like he was in character the whole time. And like I couldn't stop laughing because it was so bizarre. And I didn't know what to say. But it made for a really good story.
Yeah, he goes, I said, hey, this is for my friend Rick. He couldn't make it or whatever. And he goes, what's Rick doing right now? I was like, I don't know. He's like, why don't you give him a call? I was like, okay. So I call him. I give him the phone. He's like, hello, Rick.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. But I was like, what the? I loved it, though. I still love Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I didn't even write that down about Tales from the Crypt. Do you have a favorite episode? I know I don't really remember a whole lot of episodes, but I have the one that always sticks out in my head, which is the Santa Claus one.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's from the movie too, right?
I don't know.
One of the movies or something.
Oh, the movies. What was it? Demon Knight and.
Oh yeah, but like the actual Tales from the Crypt movie with like the little bits.
Oh, I don't even think I've ever watched that. But yeah, the Santa Claus thing. That episode is one that always stuck.
Yeah.
Who was that? Larry Drake.
Yeah.
Who was Dr. Giggles. Dr. Giggles should have had a sequel.
I like the episode with Bobcat and Morty, the ventriloquist puppet.
Yes.
Where it's like his brother.
Dude, anything that involves a ventriloquist dummy, I'm behind.
Yeah.
Goosebumps, ventriloquist dummy with Slappy behind it. I watched an episode of what was it? Not Friday the 13th, the series, but there's something else like that. Maybe it was Twilight Zone or something. They had an episode of ventriloquist dummy. I watched where the dummy was actually like alive and telling you all the jokes and stuff like that. But anything with a ventriloquist dummy, I'm behind because they're terrifying,
Right.
And it just makes for better TV.
Yeah. Just put out more ventriloquist shows.
We need more. Is the licensing up on Howdy Doody? Make a Howdy Doody
that's a
horror
scary
movie. Nothing scarier than a ginger and plaid.
Yeah.
What growing up, everyone had imagination.
Yeah.
What was your best Halloween costume from when you were a kid?
Oh, I actually brought a prop.
Oh, people love bringing props on here.
I listened to your past episodes, and I was like, he's going to talk about Halloween costumes, so I got to bring it.
You'd be screwed if I didn't.
Yeah, right? Like, I got this thing with me. So early on, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, I think, like my grandma used to make my costumes.
Okay.
And I didn't have a choice. Like I was basically like a sheet ghost like twice in a row. I got back-to-back sheet ghost years.
That's the name of your autobiography. Back-to-back sheet ghost years.
Back-to-back sheet ghost years. I was a skeleton. And third grade, I was a mad scientist with like the goofy wig and everything.
Yeah.
And then fourth grade, that's when I got the pick. Are you ready?
You still have it?
Are you ready for this? Yes, I still have it.
God. Yeah, I'm ready.
This is when I got to pick what I wanted to be in the fourth grade.
Predator.
The Predator.
They made those masks back then?
This was my fourth grade mask. And,
I love how you still have it.
and as you can see, it's gigantic, right? My little head. So I had to wear like this. I had this big ball in the back to keep it on.
Oh my God.
And my grandma and aunt, they like made the rest of the costume. So it was like a green jogging suit with like glitter puffy paint to like make the netting. And my aunt made like the box out of like cardboard.
God. I imagine you looked like the Nintendo Jason Voorhees version of a Predator Halloween costume.
Yeah, I don't have a photo. I know there's photos at someone's house, but I haven't seen them. I'd love to see them. because I bet I look ridiculous.
Last week's episode, Ron's dad listened. I've never spoke to Ron's dad in my life. I got a message from him on Facebook of a picture of Ron dressed up as Ronald McDonald.
I saw you posted it on it.
I laughed so hard because I was just like, Jesus Christ, because that was hands down the worst costume I ever wore.
Yeah, so that had to take the cake for like my most crazy original costume. I think in the 5th grade I was the devil. But you probably can't do stuff like that now, right? Can you be the devil at school?
I don't know. My son already got his Halloween costume. He wants to be the Grim Reaper.
I was the Grim Reaper in 6th grade.
And I'm just like, I'm not sure if you're allowed to be that, but I guess it's too late now because, I mean, you already bought it.
Right.
I mean, it's Halloween, whatever. Who cares?
Because a lot of times they're like, no masks or whatever.
That was a big thing. Yeah, no mask, no face paint. Well, now
what are you going to be then?
Exactly. That's what it was like 2 years ago for my kids. Last year, they were allowed to wear masks and stuff, but there's still like no face paint. So, I only remember my best Halloween. Every year, my Halloween costumes weren't that good. Like, it was awful. It was my stuff was always thrown together, like always. Like I talked about last week, I talked about how I was a mummy.
Yeah.
The one year, me and my friend Seth wore our clothes backwards because we were crisscross.
There you go.
And everyone kept asking us what we were. We were like crisscross. And the one guy, I'll never forget, he just goes, "No, you're not. You're just a big hungry kid." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Thanks." So I never really had a good Halloween costume. I just had a lot of bad ones.
Yeah. Do you still dress up now at all?
No.
Have you as an adult?
No. No. I have no time or energy to even think about it. Like, my kids are all about it.
Yeah.
Like, my kids, there was a string where every Halloween they were an old school wrestler.
Okay.
And now that's done now. Now they want to do, like, cool stuff. Like, I don't know what the World Killing's going to be this year. He picked out the outfit. Yeah. I have zero clue what the world it even is. But then Fox is like, I want to be him. I go, that's the Grim Reaper. He's like, what's that? I'm like, that's death. Okay. Perfect. I'll be him. But, yeah. They always want me to dress up. I'm like, no.
Do it for the kids, man. Do it for the kids.
No, but it was cool when they wanted to be like old school wrestlers. Like the one year they were Papa Shango.
Yeah.
And we got a picture of him printed out and had him sign it. And the one year Fox was Sting and Killing was Darby Allin. And then it wasn't last year. Maybe it was the year before. Killing was Ultimate Warrior.
Nice.
But
did you watch wrestling as a kid?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't. I didn't like it until '97.
When the Attitude Era started.
Yeah. So I watched it for like a few years then, and like through ICP's
Stranglemanias.
Yeah, ICP's wrestling performances, and then that was about it for me.
Yeah, freaking. I was super into it as a kid, and then I got out of it. I don't even know when. Then I got back into it when the Attitude Era started.
Yeah.
When kids at my school were getting in trouble for wearing shirts that had F, a smoking skull, CK, fear. I'm like, who's a Stone Cold guy? I got all caught up in it, and I don't even watch WWE anymore. It's so bad, but I watch AEW. I enjoy AEW because I watch wrestling. Get this, for the wrestling.
For the wrestling.
I know. I know it's quite mind-boggling to some that I don't watch it for all the talking.
Dang.
Like in that one South Park episode.
Yeah.
Where it's just about wrestling, but they just talk because no one does any moves. What's your worst Halloween costume?
I mean, I can't be going bad on Grandma, but I guess Sheet Ghost. I mean, it was a Sheet Ghost twice in a row. I remember. You need. Sorry to interrupt you, but you need to do this for your grandma. This year, bring back the Sheet Ghost. Yeah.
But you're going to be the Sheets Ghost.
Sheets Ghost. MTO Ghost.
So you're just going to be, instead of a blank sheet, you could just make like a bunch of sheets bags.
Yes.
You could be a Sheets Ghost.
That would be perfect.
And just smell like grilled chicken subs.
Yeah.
And French fries.
But I remember like the the mouth hole and the eye holes had like they were like bedazzled around it. You know, like they're like it's probably like
why? Or number
that
one,
was grandma stuff. You know, it was like I wore like shirts that had like puffy paint on them and stuff.
I know, but that's what I'm laughing about.
Like, why did we have to wear that puffy paint, man?
Yeah, like your grandma's like, you're gonna be a ghost.
Yeah,
but so people don't know that you're
not a scary ghost.
You're not a scary ghost. You're not a real ghost. We gotta bedazzle it.
Yeah, we were a puffy paint ghost. But I remember trying to eat a cupcake through the mouth hole and just getting like the cupcake all over the jewels.
Oh my god. So you were a predator that was covered in glitter.
Yeah.
And you were a bejeweled ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. The devil, I had no glitter on me when I was the devil. That was completely...
She did not like that.
I don't remember what I wore with that devil. I had a devil mask that I loved. I don't know what I wore with it, but there was no glitter. No puffy paint, no glitter.
Grandma was not happy. She's like, but I made you this shirt with puffy paint that said the devil on it.
It says hell.
But you can't wear that to school.
Yeah.
Oh, grandma. But like I said, I never had a good Halloween costume. I always had bad ones.
Yeah.
The one year I was the mummy the one time, like I talked about in the last episode. Oh my god. I don't even remember most of my freaking costumes because they were so bad.
Yeah.
Like
It's like trauma. You're just trying to
I just suppress it.
Suppressed.
Like, because I really don't, because I never got to go to the actual store and pick one out. It was just like the one year I got to be like, I was so excited I got to be Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
But like, my parents won't even buy me like a play machete. My dad made me want to have a piece of wood. I'm like, this is stupid. I think that was the year that this is like my favorite Halloween story ever. Whenever it pops up on my Facebook, I share it. My cousin always says like this happened. We lived in Cortland, and right down and at the top of our street there was this. I can tell you every single detail about this night of Halloween. It was like 5:00. It's just now starting to get dark. We're walking up to the house. There's at the end of the driveway. There's a scarecrow sitting there in a chair. You walk past the scarecrow, it doesn't move. Walk up, get the treat. Walking back down with my cousin. That was just the year I was Jason Voorhees. I have zero clue what my cousin was. And my cousin goes, I dare you to hit the scarecrow with your candy bag. And I said, okay. I walked up to the scarecrow. I took my candy bag and I like wound it up big time. Like I kept going as I'm walking towards him. I cracked the scarecrow right in the crotch. All of a sudden, guy comes lunging forward and me and my cousin took off.
I bet.
I'm sorry to whoever you are because I'm sure you probably you have never had kids because I completely obliterated your crotch with a bag of candy. And every time I post about it, every Halloween, my cousin always comments like, I will never forget that. Yeah. It scared the living crap out of me because we walked past him, he didn't move or anything.
Yeah.
And then he didn't move until I hit him right in the crotch with a big bag of candy.
Man, that's the risk. That's the risk you have to take if you're going to do that kind of scare, you know?
I agree. Do you have any crazy Halloween stories like that from being a bad kid?
Nothing like that. But one of my favorite is we had a trick or treat story where we were, Jimmy, my best friend, right?
Yes.
He was Freddy Krueger, and we were in an apartment complex. I don't know whose apartment complex or why we were there trick or treating or what was going on, but he didn't have black boots, so he had his black socks pulled over his shoes, and he slipped down the steps of the apartment complex. It was like blah, 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 like Freddy Krueger just flying down the steps. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. That's one of my favorite trick or treating stories.
I love how he didn't have boots. So he's pulled his socks over his shoes.
We just did what we do, you know?
You have to make do.
Yeah.
When you're kids, you have to make do. Like on the Halloweens that would snow.
Oh, yeah.
And your parents would be like, oh, you can't
wear your coat over top.
Wear your coat over top of your costume. Or I don't want you. For some reason, they didn't care about your shoes.
Right.
Don't get your socks ruined. Put them inside these bread bags, and then put your shoes on. How times have changed.
Crazy.
Growing up, was there any like monster toys that really drew you to the horror genre?
Yeah, like obviously we've talked about it before. The movie Maniacs came out late.
Yeah.
Like, so I didn't really, there wasn't anything like from horror movies that I had when I was a kid, but I had like every line had some sort of monster. So I would always take those and like decorate my room with them or the clubhouse or whatever. I actually brought some more.
Oh, look at this. He's the carrot top of interviews.
Yeah, right? This is some of my, I was a big Battle Beast guy.
Holy crap.
So I brought my Battle Beasts with me.
Are these yours from your childhood?
These are my childhood Battle Beasts. There's probably that red stuff on them could possibly be fake blood from when I did like stop motion animation with these.
I've never seen this one.
But yeah, these are my. I loved Battle Beasts.
Holy crap! Battle Beasts. These were a huge part of my childhood too.
I loved them.
I love them. I keep trying not to collect them
Yeah.
because God, they get real expensive.
Oh yeah. I was
Especially the
looking at them in the
weapons.
store and stuff. I'm like, man, I wish I still had mine. Mine in good shape anyway.
This one's water. Oh, this is a seahorse.
Yeah.
I just now realized what it was. I've never seen this one.
And then I really liked I liked a lot of the small ones that were like obviously the monsters in my pocket. I like those, but obviously they're one color, so it's kind of boring.
Yeah, there's Monster in My Pocket.
I loved
what was it? Monster in My
Trash Bag Bunch. Loved it.
Those are so hard to find.
Yeah.
Trash Bag Bunch. But Trash Bag Bunch, for people who don't know about the Trash Bag Bunch, they came on a card back. They came in a trash bag.
Yeah.
Or a little toy trash bag. And you put it in like water, it would dissolve, and then you'd see what you'd get. The humans from that line were terrible, and they weren't
Awful.
fun at all.
Yeah.
You wanted the monsters.
The monsters.
As I'm sitting here playing with Battle Beasts.
I saw the the green one. He was like real heavy. He was like a little fat green one. He had his hands like this, and he had the eyes and everything.
Yeah.
They made like a giant version of that like recently, I think.
Oh, really?
That they're doing like they were doing some more stuff with that line because they had him and somebody else that they made like giant versions of.
So, I always like to ask people this question. And now you just gave me my answer this time around. Growing up as a kid, what toy line would you resurrect? I would say Battle Beasts.
Yeah, Battle Beasts is.
Would you keep them this size? Would you make them actual like 3 3/4 inch size, like turtles and stuff like that?
I don't know. I think this size is perfect for them.
Because you can put them in your pockets and you can play with them at work.
Yeah. I'd still bring them with me to work now. Play with them every once in a while. Oh, that's a question I wanted to ask you because I was listening to you guys talk about toys and action figures and stuff. Like, I was an only child, and so like, how did you play with your action figures? Like, what was your method of play?
That's a very interesting question because I would just do like fights.
Yeah.
Like all the time. And that's like all I would do. And starting out when I started with toys and the memories I remember early on was like when I first started, all I had was Masters of the Universe because my parents wouldn't stray from what I liked.
Yeah.
So like I had Masters of the Universe. So I couldn't do nothing but good versus evil, Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain.
Right.
I would just have like one setup over here, one setup over here. The middle ground is the battleground. And then when I got older, after my Masters of the Universe figures got stolen out of our off our rental property,
Yeah.
That's when Ninja Turtles came out, and like G.I. Joes started becoming really big again. And so like at this point in time, like I had like a mixed mosh of toys.
Right.
Like I just didn't. So that kind of like threw my old mentality out the window because it wasn't no longer like just Master Universe. Now I'd have weird stuff. Like I'd have like one of the little goblin demon guys from like Black Star that I probably got like a yard sale or flea market or something because my parents never bought me Black Star figures. Then I have like my mail away Oh my God, what's his name from GI Joe? He was the medic. I forget his name. It was like First Aid or something stupid like that. I forget his
First
name.
Aid.
It was something stupid.
His name was Medic.
Yeah, probably.
Matthew Medic.
Matthew Medic. But yeah, I got him from a Kellogg's mail away because I only had 2 Joes growing up. I had 2 Joes and I got a vehicle for my birthday the one year, but I didn't have any Joes to put in it. So I take my birthday money and get a GI Joe, and the only GI Joe they had was Saw Viper. So
I had one. I had one GI Joe, and it was the one that came with the Barracuda. He was like a scuba diver that had a.
He was like blue and yellow.
No, I think he was like a reddish and green
undertow.
Maybe he had like he
was Cobra.
Yeah,
he was Cobra. I think it was. I think
he was sweet. He was my bathtub Joe with the Barracuda.
I think his name was Undertow. But yeah, it was weird. I mean, I had a couple Battle Beasts too, and now if you look back at it now, carded Battle Beasts are crazy money.
Oh yeah,
like the last time we had a set of carded Battle Beasts, mind you, Battle Beasts you would get 2 in a pack. I think the last time we had a sealed pack, we sold them for like $250, $300. Wow. They're just hard to get. And here's a fun fact: a lot of people don't know. Do you know where Battle Beast started?
No idea.
Transformers.
Really?
Yep. They had their first appearance in Transformers comic books. Wow. And then they took the ball running from there. Then also, they all have little numbers on them.
Yeah.
And then their little numbers are also on their accessories, so you know.
Oh, so you can match them up.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and this mole guy I've never seen before, and I think his rub is not real.
His rub is not real.
Yeah, because they were.
I don't think any of these work.
No, this one didn't. Seahorse one did. Yeah, because it's water. That's how I figured out he was a seahorse. Because I was like, what the heck is he? And then water comes up. Yeah, because this one doesn't go away.
Oh, yeah, this one does work. Yeah, it's flame.
And the crazy part is, those stickers are like $10.
Are they?
Like, they had $10 onto the value of them.
Oh, so yeah, I was going to say how we played. Me and Jimmy were both very spoiled children.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was the only child, so I was super spoiled. We didn't have any, like on my mom's side of the family, we didn't have any kids until 10 years later. So when I was 10 is when another child came into the picture. So like everything was for me, from the family. So I had like every action figure, from the series that I liked, I would have everything. Every playset, everything. And Jimmy did too. He had a sister, but he had everything also because he was also spoiled. So we would just like gather all our things and have like a action figure draft where it would just be like we'd spend like an hour just like picking our figures, and then like by the time we're done,
it was time to go home.
It's done. It's like, but you'd pick your first figure and then you'd like watch. It's like, and then he grabs it. And it's like, you got the one that I wanted next, But that's what we used to do as far as playing. And then I'd always get like jealous with the commercials where they're like shooting missiles and explosions and stuff like that. That's what
I was going to mention about when I got older is we moved. I lived in Southington, and then we moved to Cortland. And behind us was a bunch of woods, but then they started like tearing it down, and they made a road because they were going to start construction on building houses back there. So there's always big piles of dirt and stuff like that. And that's when I started going back there and playing with my action figures because I'm like, why can't I make it look as cool as the commercials? I was getting like so mad.
Yeah, they had like fake bricks and stuff, all kinds of crazy stuff in those commercials.
Yes, and
like you can't do that.
I'm like,
no kid out there's doing that.
I'm like, my stupid equalizer can't go through this dirt. It's too thick. How do they make it look so cool on TV? And of course, I like never had anyone that wanted to like play outside in the dirt with the toys with me because they're afraid they're going to lose their accessories and crap. Like I lost my accessories pretty much the second I opened the stupid packaging.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh man, those old school commercials are the best. I go back and watch them sometimes. Like I actually just showed my kids weird random commercial. The old Sunny D commercials where the kid opens the fridge. They were from like the 90s. He's like, "Well, we got some drink. Some cola, purple stuff, Sunny D."
Purple stuff.
And my son was like obsessed with it. He's like, "Can we watch it again?" He goes, "These commercials are funny." He's like, "Why don't they make them like this anymore?" I'm like, because no one has a personality.
I know I got some VHSs somewhere with like old Scooby-Doo and stuff on it where it has all the commercials, the original commercials.
The old toy commercials were awesome. The old like food commercials were awesome. Now you'll see a commercial for something. It's like a bear climbing a tree, and then they show someone crying, and it's like buy an Escalade. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
For some reason, when I was thinking about VHS, I was thinking of the old it was like a circus cereal commercial where like the marshmallows were like elephants and stuff, and they like jump through the hoop into the into the bowl.
Yeah, like back in the day when commercials for everything were fun.
Yeah,
and made you want to buy stuff. Now I just get confused by them.
I think they're not allowed to make it fun no more because the kids will get like diabetes and stuff. They don't want you to promote like the sugary deliciousness of items.
Anything. Yeah. Which leads me to one, you need to make a fun commercial for your event.
Yeah.
That's very old school. Because that would just be hilarious. 2, let's talk about your event.
Oh, I have an event.
Yes. It's going to be, what's the date on it?
October 4th and 5th.
October 4th and 5th at Skyway Drive-In in Warren, Ohio. You're going to have the Sinister Horror Fest. This is the second year for it.
Yeah.
And what movies will be playing?
Oh, God, here we go. Let's see. Night 1 is Creepshow and House of a Thousand Corpses are playing together. And Demon Knight and Lost Boys. And then before that, we have like an indie feature ahead of Creepshow, which will be Massacre Academy. And then before Demon Knight, we're showing like a short film marathon where I had like 500 submissions from all over the world of these crazy like short films. So I picked like, I think we have 19 short films. They're all like under 6 minutes. It's pretty cool. So it's something cool. And then Saturday we have Jeepers Creepers and Scream is our main event with Axe Giant ahead of that. And the other screen is a family screen. We're going to show some cartoons, like some Popeye cartoons or something, and Popeye and Casper. And then it's going to be Monster House and Little Monsters.
I actually just watched Little Monsters like, I don't know, 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
That movie should have had toys.
Yeah. Yeah, it should have, for sure.
Every one of us would have had a Maurice mask.
Yeah.
And what's the admission looking like for your event?
The admission is $10 for an adult. I think it's $5 for a child. And then like 4 and under is free. Saturday we have free hours from 12 to 5. So if you want to come check out our vendors, carve some pumpkins, we have a bounce house, do all that stuff, meet the guests. It's free from 12 to 5. We have a trick or treat.
Trunk or treat?
Yeah, we have a trunk or treat. Last year didn't work out so well. There was like one trunk showed up. So we had like all our vendors have candy too.
Okay.
So hopefully we get some more trunks this year. But yeah, it'll be a trunk or treat and the vendors have candy, so it's like a trick or treat that everyone can.
There you go. So from what, 12 to 5 you said?
12 to 2 is the trick or
12
treat.
to 2. Okay, 12 to 2 is trick or treat. What time is the free?
Free is 12 to 5.
All right, there you go. Because he's got vendors from pretty much all over set up selling their wares, goods, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's basically a fun family outing for free. And you can't say that a lot of stuff's not free anymore. So get it while you can.
Absolutely. And if there's any complaints, if I see any complaints, I'm never doing it again. So don't even.
They're going to ask for a free fund.
Right.
And this is correlation pretty much with your clothing company, Dead Ink.
Yeah. Well, Dead Ink is going to be 13 years old this year in October. So it's part of the anniversary shebang.
Part of the anniversary shebang as Dead Ink becomes an angsty teenager.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Skyway also has food.
Yes. They actually have really good food at really reasonable prices compared to a lot of theaters, obviously. Like if you go to, you get your $42 bucket of popcorn at certain places. God. They have a very, very reasonable deals at this place.
Probably way better food than actual movie theaters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trust me, I don't want. The last time I went to the movies for 2 tickets, a drink, and a bucket of popcorn, it was like, no joke, $50.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's crazy.
You gotta be kidding me. But I used to go to Skyway Drive-In all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because they used to have a flea market there.
Yeah.
And then I also, and right after I graduated high school, every weekend I'd go to Skyway to see movies.
Yeah.
and fall asleep in my car all the time during the second, whatever the hell the second feature was. I remember the one time I fell asleep watching Gladiator. I was like in my front seat, but then squeezed myself between the passenger seat. It laid like diagonally. I saw Road Trip there twice.
Oh man, Road Trip. That's a good one. But the flea market, that was in the barn, right? The pole barn?
No, it was out in the.
Oh, it was out in the open.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I thought they used to have it inside that barn.
Nope, they used to have it on the open. That's why I used to go with my aunt all the time.
But that's another thing is that barn they have. Brian, the owner of Skyway, used to own Jester's Court Laser Storm.
Okay.
So Jester's Court is inside that barn.
Oh, okay.
So from 12 to 5 Saturday, we have free laser tag on Dead Ink Apparel. So
oh my God,
come check it out. It's awesome. Laser tag is awesome. I didn't get to play last year. I got to get in there this time.
I played laser tag there. Actually, I went there a couple years ago to play laser tag, and we did it for I can't remember if it was my niece's birthday or my nephew's birthday, but it was a lot of fun. And now I'm not in the shape to be running around.
Right.
Like I'd probably break a hip or blow my knee out or something, but
And
you can't free laser tag, free events going on up until 5. Plus you get to see some good horror movies at the drive-in, which drive-in rarely plays good horror movies, but it is the season.
'Tis the season. Yeah.
It's the season.
And we're bringing in Walter Phelan from House of a Thousand Corpses, Dr. Satan.
You get to meet Dr. Satan from, like he said, from the iconic House of a Thousand Corpses when Rob Zombie was still making movies that were watchable and good.
So are you a Rob Zombie do you like him or do you?
I like House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah. Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects. After that,
you fell off.
oh God, because his stuff became so unwatchable. It was, oh my God, so bad. Like, I once described, what's that one, Witches of Salem?
Lords of Salem.
Lords of Salem. I once described it as, it was like Rob Zombie was asked to make a student film for like $40, then asked all of his aunts to get naked in it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That movie is awful.
So I just saw an interview the other day about House of a Thousand Corpses where a lot of the Dr. Satan was like a late addition to the movie. He wasn't even supposed to be in it at all. Like they just talked about his legend and he wasn't supposed to be in it. And at the end when they had to do all those reshoots, they were like, yeah, let's throw him in. And I guess they shot him and like the footage was just blurry. So they shot him for like his little piece and it was blurry footage. So like that's why a lot of that weird like music video stuff happens in the movie.
Okay.
Probably because they'd like destroyed footage. You're like, why did he choose to like have this negatives and all this weird stuff and doubles and like,
no,
it's probably just because the footage was bad.
Well, there we go. Now we know. But I want to thank Justin for coming and hanging out. Make sure to check out Sinister Horror Fest. Once again, dates are
October 4th and 5th
at the Skyway Drive-In in Warren, Ohio. And don't forget that Toyhio returns October 12th. You can get your tickets right now on Eventbrite. They can get their tickets for Sinister Horror Fest where?
Yeah, SkywayDriveIn.com has the tickets. If you go to deadinkapparel.com and go to the Sinister Horror Fest page, there's all the details for the event.
There you go. And it's being plastered all over Facebook.
Yeah. Trying.
Make sure to like and
nobody sees it though. I guess
dude, the algorithms are so messed up. Don't even get me started on that. But I want to thank Justin for coming out, and don't forget to also check out Time Capsule Toys, and stay spooky.
Yeah, thanks for having me.